In this video, I'm going to show you why the universe tests you before your biggest breakthroughs and how your biggest failures can actually lead to your next levels of power. Let's get started. So a lot of people are struggling. It's no joke. They might do things like start businesses or start new workout programs or whatnot, and things just are not clicking. So the truth of the matter is that this is actually not the sign that they're on the wrong path. It's actually a sign that they're on the right path. Let me give you an example. I just started training jiu-jitsu again after I have not trained over 10 years, and I'm just getting back into it. And did you know that one of the most important things that you must do to progress at jiu-jitsu is a couple things? You kind of need to get injured a lot. Not that you're going to purposely get injured or anything, but anyone who trains jiu-jitsu or any martial art consistently, getting injured is just part of the process. That's just how it is. Like right now, as I'm recording this video, my rib has been strained. It's a little bit tender. It kind of hurts to just kind of move around and things like that. Now that kind of sucks. I'm not happy that I'm not feeling this way. But you know what kind of people don't have injured ribs? People that don't train jiu-jitsu, right? Does that make sense? So the fact that like I have injured ribs and I'm committed to improving my jiu-jitsu, that means I'm doing the right thing. I'm on the right path, if that makes sense. So just think about that. If you're actually struggling a little bit, realize that you might just things might not just be taking it. It might not be going as quickly as you want them to, but you are on the right path. The other thing that's important here is to realize that there's this idea of the law of soul curriculum, which really means that each of us, when we're put on this earth, we have certain lessons that we're supposed to learn. And these lessons are essentially been ordained by the divine. And the universe is not going to give us any tests that we're not able to pass already if we don't have that inherent ability. So just realize that oftentimes when you're encountering difficulties, like really difficult things, we're not necessarily talking about, run-of-the-mill jiu-jitsu injuries or things like that, but when really bad things happen, maybe you get a divorce or the death of a loved one, or you go bankrupt, or your business crashes or whatnot, realize that those are just part of God's plan for you, and that the universe is just testing you, if that makes sense. And what we need to do is we need to realize that if we're able to overcome these tests, we come back stronger and stronger and stronger, and to the point where really nothing can faze us. This is where we literally become unstoppable. And so kind of the most important really tactic I can give you with this is really just to practice having faith and just realize that everything is going to be okay. One of my mentors gave me an amazing mantra when I was going through a difficult time. And that mantra is, I'm okay, everything's okay. I'm okay, everything's okay. Things are not going well for you, just say that to yourself one time, 100 times. I'm okay, everything's okay. Because the truth is, everything is okay. You're a child of God. You are engineered for perfection, and everything's going to be okay. Another thing that's really going to help you have those breakthroughs that we're talking about is developing what's known as the anti-fragile mindset. So anti-fragility is one of the most powerful concepts I've ever learned. I learned it from a guy by the name of Nassim Taleb, I hope I said that right, who wrote a book called Anti-Fragile. So the idea of anti-fragility is that when life knocks you down, you actually get stronger and stronger and stronger. The example that Nassim gives in his book is, imagine a box with a vase inside of it that says fragile on the outside. So when you shake that box, what happens? It breaks. There's another box, imagine another box that says resilient on the outside. With that box, when you shake it, it doesn't break because it's resilient. But the best box is the one that says anti-fragile on the outside. This one, the more you shake it, the stronger and stronger it gets. And when we really develop our ability to be anti-fragile, this is a true superpower. This truly makes us unstoppable. And one of the things I like to bring people's attention to when I think about anti-fragility is Batman. So I love Batman. He has by far my all-time favorite superhero. He is just one of my general heroes of all my heroes. Batman is right at the top of the list. When people think about Batman, especially people who maybe don't pay attention to the comics as much, is that they think of like, the super billionaire Bruce Wayne with all this cool toys, with the Batmobile and all this stuff that can do whatever he wants. Who's like the super duper mega hero, this almost like a god. And that's cool. Batman is all those things. But what a lot of people don't realize is that if you read Batman comics, almost every Batman comic or Batman storyline has the same storyline. And essentially, the storyline is this. Batman goes out in the world, he's doing stuff, and he gets his butt kicked. He typically will get his butt kicked by whoever his arch nemesis is. He gets his butt kicked, and then he goes back to the Bat Cave, figures out a plan, and then comes back stronger, and then defeats the enemy. Repeat forever. By now I have no idea. I mean, there must be thousands, tens of thousands, literally, stories that have been released over the years. And they all basically have this general storyline. You want to be thinking about that. The biggest heroes are the ones who get their butts kicked the most. So this is what we need to consider if we want to excel, and if we really want to experience those fruits of what the universe has to offer us. So here's a couple tools you can use to become more anti-fragile yourself. So one of them is the tool GOOD, which I learned from Jocko Willink. And essentially this one is whenever something bad happens to you, the response is always good. So you want to say good, and then think of 1, 2, 3 reasons why this is good. So for example, my recent jiu-jitsu injury. Good. Gives me the opportunity to come back stronger. Good. It gives me the opportunity to rest up and recalibrate. Good. It gives the opportunity to focus more on my business. So that is really what the tool is. You use this for big things, for small things. I just spilled some milk. Good. Gives me the opportunity to clean up and make the sink look nice or whatever. Okay, so that is a tool. Good. Another tool I would give you is always just the best self question. This is one thing that isn't really just for being anti-fragile, but it's something that you'd be using all day, every day. So essentially, whenever something bad, in quotes, again, happens to you, you just want to ask yourself the question, how would my best self respond to this? And then whatever comes up, do that thing. You lose a lot of money. How would my best self respond to this? Well, most likely they would get recentered and take some kind of action so they can get themselves out of the situation. Almost all the time, really the antidote really always is going to be taking some kind of action. You might take a little bit of time to recover a little bit, but really action is actually what's going to increase that vibration, increase that expansion. So those are a couple of anti-fragile tools. So I want you to get in the habit of doing these over and over and over and over and over again. And this is what's going to really allow you to develop those superhuman superpowers that we've been talking about. But it gets better, which I'm going to share with you why in the next part. So one of the big reasons why the universe tests you before your big breakthrough is because of the law of polarity. This is critically important. Basically, the law states that for every action, there's a corresponding reaction, meaning that everything that exists, its corresponding opposite also exists. So this is why we have, hot, cold, up, down, left, right, heaven, hell, yin, yang, all those types of things. And so this is one of the most important lessons I can possibly teach you. It really is kind of an expansion of everything we've already talked about in this video, is realizing that when things are, again, bad, there has to be a positive, a corresponding positive that comes from it. And typically that means something good is just around the corner. This good thing, it has to exist by law. This is one of the laws of the universe. And you literally do not need to take my word for it. I can actually prove this to you. Here's how I'll do this. I want you to think about something really bad that's happened in your life. It could be something kind of a small b bad, or it could be a real bad thing, like one of those tragic things that I mentioned earlier. So I'll give you a minute. I'll give you a few seconds. So think of something bad. Got something? Got something? Okay, cool. And now I'm willing to bet that looking at it from now, looking back with the benefit of hindsight, that bad thing was probably one of the best things that ever happened to you. I'm willing to bet that. I've taught this in seminars all over the world. Whenever I ask this question, half the room, more than half the room's hands are raising, because this is just how it is. Our biggest tragedies often provide our biggest treasures. So just think about that. Your biggest tragedies will provide your biggest treasures, are your biggest treasures in a lot of ways. We just have to think about that. So the real art here, and this is not easy. I'm not going to tell you that everything's going to be ease and flow, but the thing that I'll tell you is that when things are really difficult, the pro level, the way of looking at it is to think, okay, everything is happening exactly the way it's supposed to. I'm okay, everything's okay, and I'm growing, I'm expanding, and this is awesome. This is exactly what should be happening. No resistance. Resistance is really bad. We do not want to resist. We want to accept, realize everything's going to be fine, and then again, we need to be taking those actions. We need to be moving forward. We need to be expanding with the universe, and with that expansion comes that higher vibration, which is going to then manifest into those amazing abundance and things that we want in the universe. So that is why the universe tests you before your biggest breakthrough. Before the breakthrough, we need some breakage. And that's what we talked about in this video. In my next video, I'm going to show you how you can manifest more by regulating your nervous system. So be on the lookout for that. And if it is your first time here, please subscribe and also like this video, leave a comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you next time.